100.
Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon with my man Big E. We're just missing RT, but that's okay. We'll pat him on the back anyway, even though he's missing in action today. What's going on, Big E?
Not much. Just another Sunday for me. Had church this morning, and then we went out to lunch afterward. Had me a really nice steak.
Where'd you go?
Went to Cheddar's. Got me a big old T-bone steak.
We're celebrating a couple birthdays this month in my house. We got my wife. Her birthday. I know we're shooting on Sunday, but her birthday be Monday. Then Deshaun turned the big 21. Seems like it's taking forever.
Oh, yeah.
For all my kids that finally hit that 21. But Zoe, my wife, she's still young. She's still younger than me, so that's all that matters. We went to the Jones Assembly place and had lunch. Me and the kids and her and one of their good friends, Cardana. It's a good thing when you can celebrate another birthday. It means the Lord let you live another day, another year.
Yep.
I got this morning, went to church, got the word in myself. I needed it because sometimes people push the envelope just a little bit.
Yeah.
Biggie. Met the boys there, so I had church with my two boys. Jessica didn't make it. Ivy stayed the night, so she had no church clothes. I know our church shouldn't matter what you wear, but our grandparents are. But I tell you, man, going into coming out of week 3, getting ready for district play.
Yep. Where it starts to count right here.
It starts to count. Hey, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of the schools are going back to 6 teams getting in.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of exciting because some of these teams are it's going to take everything they got to get in. So I tell you, we'll have a special guest, another 918.
Another 918 kid from Union.
Number 1 team in the state. It's gonna be excited to talk to him. And I don't know if you know, but did you know they changed their name?
They changed it to the Red Hawks.
Yes, I just found that out.
Yeah. It was amid kind of the same thing when because they were the Redskins.
Yeah.
And
I'm still saying Redskins.
Yeah, and then so I think they changed their name around the same time that the Washington at the time Redskins, now the Commanders. That they
and they took a beat down today. The Commanders. By the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, man, they're looking pretty good.
They got.
They're looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm glad I have him on my fantasy team.
Yes, he's a good receiver.
Yeah, he's really good.
On my Madden, I don't do the Madden online. I play a little bit online, but I do more of the Madden create your guy, and I'm the QB1. For the Lions.
For the Lions?
And
okay.
So, it's kind of fun. But
so you're pretty familiar with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah. So I kind of know him a little bit. Yeah, he's a good receiver. The tight end's a good receiver.
Yeah.
They got 2 great backs, and Williams and
Swift.
Swift is he leads the way on my little team though. But I tell you though, man, it's some good things going on. Got a chance to go watch that Mustang play that Arkansas team, and I tell you, the Jacoby Johnson kid's a good sized kid, man. I was really shocked that OU's going to play him on the defensive side of the ball, not the offensive side of the ball. The kid is big. He's a big corner, man. He's about 6'3", 6'4".
He can run.
He can run. He's everything of a 200. The game was just, man, I just tell you, man, watching that game, and the Arkansas team wasn't very big. You saw that picture that RT sent out. Wasn't very. The game was just kind of slow.
It was kind of slow? Okay.
I mean, thank God we both drunk a Red Bull or we might have fell asleep. I mean, and Mustang probably could have scored any time. The kid they threw the ball to him 3 times. He caught 2. He caught two for touchdowns.
Wow.
One was like a 46. The other was probably like a 25. But, anytime they wanted to score, they probably could have went to him. They had a couple other good little receivers. Bass, number 1, I think he signed with one of the military schools. And number 2, I don't know that much about him, but he got the ball real well. They had 4 or 5 different running backs. The quarterback was on point on some of his throws. He ran the ball pretty good. You talk about, we'll have the 918 kid on and B. Ray here in a little bit, but you talk about this side of the state and the other side of the state. That's why the Tulsa teams are so much better than this side of the state. If you're watching high school football, man, it's just a faster pace, I think, up there with those guys. If you look at a Jinx in the Union and the Broken Arrow and the Wasso, and I'll even throw Muskogee in there, man, with their high pace offense. And you look at Mustang, man, I know, and so it makes you kind of scratch your head, watching that Mustang team, because Deer Creek, and Mustang had a hell of a game, but Bigsby played that same Arkansas team, right?
Yeah.
And just beat the brakes off them 59-0 at their house.
Yeah.
And so then this team comes over here to Mustang, and Mustang beats them What was the final on that?
It was
41 to 30.
41 to 13. I mean, still a blowout, but you got to think Mustang ain't no Bixby.
No, but Big E though. What do they call Harbor or whatever?
Harbor. Yeah.
They had chances. They missed 2 field goals. Had a couple times in the red zone and didn't score, so the score could have been a little bit closer. It could have been 28 to 41, or but it just you look at Mustang and you like I said, we'll talk to the Union young man because Union be coming in to play Mustang, and that'd probably be for the district championship if you look at the schedule is going to break down. But I just tell you though, man, if you look at the other side of the state and you look at this side of the state, it's a big difference, I mean, it really is, and I hate to say that because if you're looking at when teams play on ESPN, you never see a team on this side of the state.
Yeah.
It's always,
it's always those Tulsa schools. But, you got to think about the talent at those Tulsa schools. I mean, how many Tulsa guys are in the league right now or doing their thing at the college level? I mean, you got one of the bigger names. You got Tyler Lockett, came from Booker T, Washington. He's on the Seahawks doing his thing. And then who else from the Tulsa area, man? There's just a bunch of guys. I mean, especially at the collegiate level. A lot of those guys go big Power 5, too. Yeah, they go big Power 5. You got Brendan Presley from Bixby over there at OSU doing his thing. His little brother got to play a little bit this past weekend.
Oh, did he get to play? Deshaun Brown got to play.
Yeah, Deshaun Brown. You saw a lot of OK Preps, former guys that played high school ball around the Oklahoma area that got to play this weekend.
That's good to see those guys get in the game, man, because, you get so worried because I've been looking for Jordan Mukes for the last couple of weeks, and I think Deshaun said, Coach Carter said he's redshirting. I just tell you, man.
I think that's a smart red shirt. I think let him develop and get a role in that BV defense. I mean, I think he's somebody that can definitely pop off in that defense.
They're playing a lot of freshmen though.
They are playing a lot of freshmen.
So that kind of scares you a little bit though, because those guys are getting the game reps and like that number 7. I mean, I know you guys. I just tell you, man.
Jaron Kanik.
That boy. Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. They're throwing guys out left and right. They can go and you watch. Somebody put a video on Twitter yesterday, and you watch Venables kind of getting those guys mixed after that first touch. Because I'm sitting there with me. We got a group text, me, my brothers, and Deshaun. And Deshaun's kind of OU hater. He's an Ohio State, so he's like, man, it's gonna be a blowout. And then at first I thought it could be a blowout. And then when OU turned it on, they turned it on, scored what? 35,
49 unanswered points.
49 unanswered points, man. And it probably could have kept on scoring. They took the starters out. Gabriel, I'm still kind of shaky on him, man. I
think he played a terrific game. I mean, you see him run that 60-yard touchdown run that he had.
He looked slow.
He didn't look slow on that.
But I'm just saying though, his passes is really sometimes inconsistent. Man. He's not really accurate all the time.
Well, you got to think he's coming off of an injury. He didn't get to play at all last year.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of rust there. I mean, he's still got to get back into the swing of things. But I mean, you talk about some of the throws that he did have. That one to Jalil Farouk on the sideline. It was right on the face mask, and fitting it in the tight windows.
Is that number 3?
Number 3, yep.
The number 1 kid they praised a lot. They just kept talking about that. They didn't give him no
Jaden
targets.
Gibson, yeah.
That kid's gonna be.
I got to see him. He did a lot during the spring game. He's a lengthy kid. He's like 6'5". His strides are long. I mean, you watch him on TV. His strides are just so long, and he just puts a gap in between him and the defender. I think he's definitely going to be a guy that we're going to be talking about for a while. I mean, he's just a freshman. He's already getting some snaps, and maybe not getting a whole bunch of targets right now, but he is getting some of those snaps and getting some of that experience in there. I think he's definitely going to be a guy that you'll see next year. I think. I see Marvin Mims leaving after this year with the year he's having. I think he's just going to keep on improving. I think he's going to, play his way into the first round of the draft this upcoming year, and then I think that'll open up the window for him to do some things. Same thing with Drake Stoops. I could see Drake Stoops going to the NFL after this season. I don't see him going in the first 2 rounds, but definitely somebody that you could get for a steal in the 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th round if he falls. But I think whoever's going to get Drake Stoops, he's going to be like one of those Julian Edelman, Hunter Renfrow type of guys that works out of the slot, just kind of sneaky, that can just, maybe a good solid slot receiver as a number 2 guy. He'll be one of those guys when they're double teaming that number 1 guy, it'll open up for Drake Stoops, and he'll be able to do his thing. So I'm excited to see him play out.
It's funny because they're getting the ball to him all different kind of ways. They hit him on the slant to get a little jet sweep. So
it's very versatile. I mean,
he's a tough kid, man. Yeah. He takes some hits. But I'll tell you though, high school football last week, it wasn't probably one of the best weeks, week 3. But now you're gonna start tackling going into district, like we said a little bit earlier. You start looking at teams matchups. It all counts now by the points, and you can come down to a tiebreaker, and who has the most points and giving up the less points to get that home. Because right now you're fighting everything that's in district is coming down to home field.
Yeah.
You want to play all your games until you got to go to a neutral site. So I think every game matters though, and I think some teams have been beat up and banged up, and I think they're going to start getting some of their players back. Kind of listen to the coach Collier show.
Yeah.
They had Reed on there, and he was kind of talking about maybe he's going to come back against Bishop McGinnis, and so if he can come back the last 3 games, I don't know how much if he's going to play at QB. They got back on the winning track. After getting beat by Muskogee, they get back on the winning track and just beat the out of Elk City, man. It was really bad, man. What was the final on that? It was like, oh, man. Oh, here, let me see right here, man. That's what we do, folks. We keep it 100. We're going to have it for you here in 2 seconds. So here you go.
It was 45-2.
45-2. 2! So. Somebody must have hit a 2-run shot.
Yeah. A little safety.
A little safety, but I'm just saying if you're looking at a baseball analogy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're going into the fall classic, so somebody must hit a 2-run homer. But hey, they did get on the board. But I just tell you, I thought LC was pretty good, man. They come in at 2-0, had beat some pretty good teams, beat Alphas, but Carl Alberlet said not on our house. I think it was senior night.
It's an early senior night.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get it in before. A lot of people try to get it in because 2 years ago they had COVID and everything got shut down. So everybody's trying to make sure they get their senior night. But folks, like I said, we got a special guest coming all the way from the 918, Mr. Bray, the outside linebacker for Union. It's pretty good to have another 918 Tulsa kid on. We'll start picking up some of the kids on our side of the state here. We start getting in the district. One of our guys we want to have on is the outstanding defensive back, strong safety, Kanajo, and also Mr. Oklahoma State himself, Jaden Foreman. It's good though. When you can wake up and you get a text out of a young man this morning for more. One of their DBs, I think he's a 2024 kid. I'm gonna get a chance to go check out that game this Friday night.
Go out to More
War. Zoe's kind of in a little bit of trouble. He needs this win right here against Moore. Coach Brian's over there got them guys fired up, bringing that defense. Hey, those guys. That kid sent a text this morning. He was pretty fired up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, hey, we here to take care of business. Yeah. Hey, we're not just here to. He said they're gonna beat down Westmore. I like it when you're confidence like that, and he got his stats out there, and he said he'd like to come on, keep it 100. And that's the thing about it, we don't care if you got 1 star, no stars, or 20 stars. We like to have everybody on the show, man. Absolutely. We don't discriminate because we're not having the best players on all the time, man. It's about getting the guys on. Cedric had a hell of a game last Friday night against who did they play? Enid. I think he had 16 catches, 2 TDs, man. He had some good numbers, man. Yeah. Like 200-some yards. But Cedric, you keep doing your thing, young man, and I'm telling you, man, the door's going to open up for you. Somebody's going to come grab you. You might be late, but they always say, those who wait, good things come to them. Yeah. But, folks, we'll be right back after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it 100.
Oklahoma
High School Sports. Right back.
Man, Dad, all this crazy weather has gotten our roof and gutters all messed up.
Good thing we know some guys over at Rain Down Roofing and Gutters. They can inspect and repair your roof and gutters and get in contact with your insurance company in 72 hours or less.
Call Jay Hunt at Rain Down Roofing and Gutters at 405-473-0674. No job is too big or too small for Rain Down Roofing and Gutters. Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday afternoon, evening, going into the evening. We got a special guest all the way from the 918 from the Union. I guess they're called the Red Hawks, but I'm going to still say the Redskins because that's how I know them by. But we got Mr. B. Ray, the outside linebacker on the number 1 team in the state 6A. What's going on, Mr. B. Ray?
What's up? How you doing?
Hey, we're doing fine, man. Glad you can come join us on the show. I know you just got through working out, so it's always a pleasure to have a young man from the other side of the state to come talk a little high school football. For the listeners that don't know, because I know we got a lot of people on this 405, but people probably do know who the Union Redhawks are because they are the number 1 team in the state of Oklahoma right now. I said it last week. If you haven't caught one of our shows, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again because you are on the show. Bigsby and Union will play for the Big 6A. Once again, you heard it on this Sunday night. Bigsby in Union will play for the 6A state championship. What do you think, Big E?
I think I'd have to agree. I mean, as of thus far, there's not been a whole lot of separation between those two teams. I think as of right now, if season were to end tomorrow and we played the state championship, it'd be Bixby and Union.
So what do you think, Mr. B. Ray? Tell us a little bit about yourself for the listeners that don't know who you are.
I've grown up in Tulsa my whole life. Been in Union my whole life. Never been anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
Really just playing linebacker since first grade. So I mean, it's pretty fluent to me. So that's about it.
So you guys come in right now undefeated. Coming off last year losing to Jinx, and you guys just played Jinx before your bye week, and I think the score was 38-3.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, this is funny. They beat you in state. I know you guys had that revenge because when you got Jinx and you got Union, you got Owasso, and you got Broken Arrow, and you got all those good teams up there, man. It's all fighting to get for that state championship. But what was it like, because last year, like I said, they beat you guys for the state championship. Then you come back this year and you beat them 38-3. What was the difference? I mean, because you guys only have 4 returning starters on defense.
Yeah, I mean, the difference, we really just had to take advantage of what the opportunity came, so they had their running back out, and I think they had 3 injured old linemen, but I know 2 of them played. But I mean, Jaden Curl, their running back, that's a big asset to their game. So I felt like we really took advantage of that. And number 24, their running back, they did a good job, but I feel like our defense, we just held it down the whole game. Offensive scoring, Deion McKinney and Grayson Tempest and Shaker Rising, they were just doing their thing on offense. So if we kept on stopping them, they were just going to keep scoring. So that's really it.
Well, I got to ask this question because, you talk about y'all's offense. Their quarterback was with them last year. I guess his name, let me get his name right.
I think it was Shaker.
Shaker. Yeah. He beat you guys as a freshman.
Yeah.
He packs his bags up in the spring or in the summertime and says, you know what? I'm going to be a Red Hawk.
Yeah.
And so how did that all come about? Because it has to be kind of tough. I know it's good for you guys, but when he beat y'all, I know y'all was mad at him. Now he come and join you, so he's like a brother to you guys now. So what was that like? Are they playing both QBs? Because your QB you had starting before was a 2-year starter. So are they both splitting time, or Mr. Jinx that took over for Union is he the primary starter?
Yeah, I say Shaker is the primary starter, but in practice, Grayson. He's playing a slot receiver for us right now, but in practice he's still getting reps with the QBs, doing the inside run stuff, getting handoffs off. Just because anything can happen in the game of football.
Yes, sir.
He can break his shoulder tomorrow, and then Grayson will have to step up. And I feel like even with Grayson getting his spot taken, you could say, I feel like he's still he's mentally ready to go back to QB at any time and to play his wide receiver spot. So I feel like he's done an amazing job just handling this whole situation.
That's good stuff. You being a senior upperclassman and being one of the leaders of the team, it's good to kind of say that about your teammate because a lot of times, I tell people all the time, QB dads are the toughest. I'm gonna tell you, my kid didn't play QB. One of my kid played running back, and the other one played slot receiver, and Big E played receiver that's sitting next to me. But I just tell you, sometimes as a QB dad, man, it just it's like having a desperate housewife. You have your own QB show, man. The dads, I really should quit being a high school podcast and start my own QB dad reality show. Man, I'm telling you, my ratings will be outstanding because these dads, man, you're laughing over there, but man, these dads get crazy. But
I hear you.
I just got to tell you though, man, Union's doing some big things, man. I know you guys got your eye on the gold ball. You can't see, but we keep a gold ball on one of the shelves, so when you go back and watch the show, you'll get to see it. But what's Union's going into after getting beaten state? What was y'all's mindset going into this year, especially this being your senior year?
Really just me and my guys, the senior guys, like December 4th, 2021. After that, it was just put your head down to work. It's our last year. We got to get it. So we worked this off season. I feel like this is the hardest we worked off season since I got moved up since freshman year. But at Union, the goal is always to get to the gold ball, always, no matter what. And I feel like that's the path we're taking. We got Owasso coming up next. It'll be a pretty good game, but I feel like you can name us the district champions, but we'll see that on Friday. But yeah, we put in work. We coming for the gold ball.
So since you've been at Union, have you won a state championship or just been
No.
a runner-up? So this is it for you then, huh? I know last year
Yes, sir.
you kind of finished with the silver ball, but I know you got your eyes on the gold, and that's something that's nothing greater than being a senior and going out winning the gold ball and being a state championship and, you know, like you said, a district championship. Because those things go a long way, man. You're always going to be in the record books. You're always going to have your name on the school. So when you walk at Walmart or any store, they're like, hey, that's Mr. B. Ray. He won a state championship. You got the big fat ring on.
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting, though. So, B. Ray, tell the people, you know, like I said, a little bit more about yourself and tell them about, you know, what's your game like playing outside linebacker. Are you just the defensive side of the ball guy, or do you play a little bit of offense too?
Nah. Actually, this year I've been getting in more on tight end. My junior year, I was supposed to get in the rotation, but I ended up separating my AC joint, tear some ligaments in my right shoulder. So I just sat that out. You know, kind of just learned all the defense, and I'm like the defense guru on the defense side of the ball, so I really know everything. So this year I'm trying to step up and see what I can do on the offense side of the ball.
I mean, you talk about your defense. You talk about you guys have 4 returning starters. I know it's led by the Mr. Thomas, the man that 6'4", 330 pounds, is committed to Vanderbilt. What's it like playing with him? Because I know he gets a lot of attention and he gets a lot of double teams, so that opens up some stuff for the linebacker. So what's it like playing alongside him?
Yeah, D, that's a big dude. So, you know, I mean, the game plan always gonna be towards him running the ball wide. So, you know, he'll get triple, double teams. You know, I done seen last year against sophomore they had a quadruple team, but I mean that really just gives everybody else opportunities. Our linebackers, Bryce Aslock and Red Rogers. You know, I feel like we got the best linebacker core, one of the best linebacker cores in the state. But yeah, playing with him just opens up a lot of opportunities for everybody. Everybody get their stats up, and you know, Digo get his regardless.
So tell me something about the linebackers. I think they got Mr. Bryce, and then you got yourself. And who's the other linebacker?
We got another senior, Red Rogers. He played wheel linebacker for us. He didn't get to play that much last year. You know, we had a solid senior last year, but I mean he stepped up this year. You know, he's claimed his spot. So I mean, yeah, he's been doing this thing.
And your secondary is pretty loaded too. I think you guys got 2 guys that back in that, David Robinson and Thomas. I cannot make sure I pronounce his last name, Gortord, and then Devin Jordan. Some of the guys in the secondary. What's your secondary guys been like? I mean, with your guy having a big man up front and then have a great linebacker core. Does it kind of make it easy on them guys because you guys can get the quarterback, and a lot of times these quarterback QBs throw the ball up, and so it gives these guys the opportunity to get an interception?
Yeah, I mean, there's the front seven. They give, I mean, you know, they don't really got a lot of time to throw the ball with our front seven. But even if they do, I feel like we have some of the top secondaries in the state. We got Devin Robinson, Isaac Covington, transfer from BTW, Davon Jordan, and Thomas Gothard. I mean, Thomas Gothard is 6'3", and when Jinx he had a hog down play against Jinx running 24 miles per hour. So I mean that speed is killer. But yeah, most definitely it's just a lot of opportunities for everybody with the whole front 11, with the whole 11. I mean, it's not a lot you can do.
You know, it's really privileged when you can say you're a 2-year starter, right, for the Red Hawks. It's pretty cool for you to say that for a team that's powerful like a Union, because you know having that many players and being that good, man. You know, you got so many kids that come out, and for you to be a starter on a team like that, man, you got to pat yourself on the back, because I mean, you look at a Bigsby and you look at a Wasso, and you look at Jinx. You know, these guys always have 100+ kids out. So, you know, you got, 10, 12 kids at your position competing. And for you to call yourself a 2-year starter, man, it has to be kind of amazing. So what kind of work did you put in to make yourself a starter?
Really this offseason I've really been hitting it. I got signed up with a personal trainer named Sean Barker down at SBI down here in the 918. I was with him, 4 days a week,
Yes, sir.
just getting it in. That's speed and agility, power work, just some lifting tied into that. I mean, that really helped me a lot. He's like real sprint mechanic focused
Yes, sir.
and just everything above. So that's helped me a lot. I've been putting on I put on about 15 pounds,
Well,
20 pounds since December 4th, 2021 last year. So I mean, just that keeping my weight up, getting in the gym, just trying to keep my weight up and stay fast. I mean, that's just really helped me a lot. Lifting wise, numbers have been going up, just like every off season. But numbers have been going up. Really been getting in the gym a lot, staying consistent, eating right. Protein shakes, everything that comes with that recovery.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I feel like I've been doing everything to put myself in a position for me and my team to go win the gold ball.
So how big are you?
I'm 6'3", 225.
That's good size.
good size. Yeah, so I asked just about everybody we have on the show, every player that we have on the show. I'm a huge fan of watching guys from Oklahoma have an opportunity to go and play at the next level. So I gotta ask, do you have any colleges hitting you up? Are you already committed? And what's your recruiting looking like?
No, my recruitment's still open. I have one D1 offer from Houston Baptist University. I got that the day or really 30 minutes before our first day of team camp down in Owasso. And then I have 6 D2s. I got Harding University, University of Central Missouri, Northwestern, Oklahoma State University. Yeah,
Too many to count right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's a
something
good.
like that, something like that.
That's a good problem to have, have any more schools reached out? Maybe haven't pulled the trigger on an offer yet, but that you're in contact with.
Not really. I just sent out my week 1 through my 1 through 3 week film. So I know I've been talking to my guy Will Thomas. He was a tackle for us last year. He's up at New Mexico State.
Okay.
And I've been getting in contact with their D coordinator and Coach Kill up there.
Yeah.
I went to a junior day camp at UCO this summer, so I've been trying to stay in contact with them. Just all the schools all around.
Yeah, and Coach Kill's a cool guy. And not a lot of people know this, but his first coaching job, I believe, was at Midwest City High School, just here in Oklahoma. So I mean, that Oklahoma Tide there. I mean, I think there's quite a few kids from New Mexico. I mean, quite a few kids from Oklahoma on that New Mexico roster. So glad to hear that you have opportunities to go play at the next level, and not only that, but opportunities to get your school paid for. Football. It'll you probably heard it a million times. Football won't last forever, but you'll have an opportunity to go get a degree that'll last you a lifetime. So.
And that's the most important thing, Like you said, you're doing everything right. And like I said, the more and more you win, people's gonna be out there not just watching you, but watching all the other players around you. I know, like I said, Mr. Thomas is already committed to Vanderbilt, but like I said, if he keeps balling out, there's gonna be other people. But you know how it is. Sometimes, we say this to a lot of the guys on the show, man, because everybody wants to go D1. I mean, that's the dream. But, I tell people all the time, sometimes you might go D1 and you might get lost in the shuffle and never play, but you was there for 4 years. At the end of the day, if you're going to go put that hard work in, you want to be on the field. So you want to look at somebody that fits you, that fits where you can get in, how many guys is in front of you, because that's the thing is, each year recruiting don't stop just because you got there. They're going to say, hey, we got linebackers, we're going to quit recruiting linebackers. So, find something that fits you, that makes you feel good, where you go get your degree, because, like I said, if you make it to the NFL, that's a bonus, but if you don't, you got that paper to fall back on. Now you go get you a good job and make a good living. Then, now that you've been, like you said, you've been paying somebody to train you. Now you can go out there and do the same thing and go train young men. Because, like I said, looking at your picture, man, good sized young man. Like I said, you've done everything you can. Like you said, get your speed up. You came back from injury. You're playing outstanding ball. You're playing against great competition. You couldn't ask for better competition like playing up in Tulsa. I know you guys face Mustang in a couple weeks. They got a D1 prospect and their top receiver, defensive back, and then the young man, I just watched him on Friday night, Jacoby Johnson. So, you're going to have some scouts out there to watch that young man and you make a couple great plays against him, and people starts, hey, who's this young man? And it happens all the time, man. You see it all the time, and a kid might not be on the radar, and finally, and another thing that you do too, you kind of said, hey, I just put my film out, but find you 5 or 6 good D1 schools that you like, and send your film out, and do the same thing in D2. Send your film out. And then, sometimes you got to be a bugaboo. And I hate to say it, but you got to be it, though, because at the end of the day, I tell you, the worst thing that could have ever happened to a high school kid, and I'm going to be true, is COVID. Because, man, I was watching games last night, man. I mean, and you see all these kids, and I tell people all the time, these small schools, look at Southwest Missouri State played Arkansas last night, man, had a chance to beat them. But Southwest Missouri State had 4 or 5 guys that came from D1 Power 5 schools that come to their school. So now these schools are not really small schools no more because they got big-time D1 players. Yeah. Because now if a kid can't play, he's going to pack his bag up and go somewhere else. So, it's going to clear out here shortly, Junior college is not a bad thing to go. I tell people all the time, I wish I'd have went to junior college. I think sometimes kids don't like to go to junior college, but I think if a young man goes to junior college and he can get some 1s or 2s reps, he's going to go D1 because those guys look at it, hey, they've already played, because why could I can go get me a kid out of transfer portal instead of going to get me a kid out of high school. I'm going to get me a kid out of junior college instead of getting a kid out of high school that I got to teach and learn, but this kid has already been at the D1 or been at the junior college level, so I ain't got to teach as much. So, man, just keep your head in there, keep banging. Like I said, winning solves a lot of things, because once you win, people going to come out and watch you and just ball out, man. That's one thing I say, is ball out. We tell every young man that comes on this show, keep it 100. Don't give out scholarships. We give out a scholarship to a young man to help further his career, his education, but we can't give out, football scholarships. I wish I could. We'll do everything. We'll, when you put your film up, you send us your little tape, we'll put it up with the show and we'll tweet it out. We want you to tweet it out. We'll put it on Instagram and everything that we got. So, man, B. Ray, just keep doing your thing, man. I just tell you, man, it's always, like I said, a pleasure to have a young man on the show. Before I let you go, though, I got to ask you, man, are you a Madden fan? Do you play the Madden?
Yeah, I'm not on the game. I'm not a game head, but, yeah, I play Madden.
I just say that because, a lot of times I know when high school young men, when before a game, they like to get a game in to take their mind off the game. So I always ask guys, man, me and he was kind of talking about it. I'm an old man. I still play it. My son came over last Sunday night and he beat me, man. I was upset because I had him beat. It was bragging rights in the house and he beat me though, man. But another thing, so like what's your ritual like before a game? Like what's your meal? What do you listen to when you're warming up? What's those things like?
Really my pregame meal, I try to get something good, but if it's nothing, if it's like a away game, I got a lot of time. I'll go to Zaxby's, give me some little chicken tenders.
Okay.
That always do the job though.
That little wings and things, is that what you get?
Nah, I actually get number 5. It's like a chicken tender sandwich with some little buffalo sauce on there.
I'm glad you just say Chick-fil-A, man. I tell you, Chick-fil-A a breaker, brother.
Man, quit hating on Chick-fil-A.
Man, Chick-fil-A a breaker, brother, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 right here, man. By the time you leave Chick-fil-A, you've already spent $30 on just one sandwich, and
it's worth it. That's the Lord's chicken right there.
Man, I'm just
they come at a high price.
Man, my kids say chicken. When they talk about Chick-fil-A, I act like I ain't got no money. I left my wallet at the house, man. Cause you might as well go and take them to Cheddar's or Outback or something if you're gonna spend that kind of money. But B. Ray, man, I tell you, like I said, guys are going in the district though. What's the plan? You guys coming off bye week. So what's been this week been like? Getting ready for who y'all got this week? Owasso?
Yes, sir.
So what's that game like? I know they lost one of their best players in Cole Adams. So what's this game plan? Going into them.
It's really just like every week, but we just got an extra week to prepare for them. So really, this whole team and Coach Fred they've been preaching, treat this like a playoff game because something can happen. We see them quarterfinals, semifinals. We just got to do it again. But really the game plan, just get to the quarterback. Just keep him in the pocket because he's pretty mobile. Keep him in the pocket. Put the ball in the offense's hand. Let them do their thing. And then if we just keep getting stops, I don't think there's nobody that can stop our offense, to be honest.
So you guys won't meet Bigsby into the playoffs, right?
Yeah, we got to meet him in state.
So would that be the championship game? Depends on how everything plays out, or
yeah. They'll be
like
on
you both.
side.
It looks like like I said, the season was the end of the day. You both finished number 1 in y'all's district. So you wouldn't see each other. So they would probably have to. Well, they play Jinx at the end of the year, don't they?
Yeah, Bixby plays Jinx. That's the last game of the year.
So one of you guys, whoever wins that game, will have to see you guys probably in the semifinals then before when y'all can get crowned to become a state championship, though. Do you guys kind of peek at Bixby any? You know, I know they've been in little 6A. Now they move up to big 6A, and it seems like they have not missed a beat. You know a lot of the guys on the Bixby team?
Yeah, the Has brothers, those are my guys, Connor Kirby. They got a big running back named Jersey Rob up on the state. Yeah, that kid, he big.
Yeah.
Now, do you play any other sports besides football, or just football? That's it.
Nah, I just play football. I stopped playing basketball freshman year, and then I played baseball up to 7th grade year, and then soccer down to like youth age, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that soccer help you with good feet. Do you ever work out with Dobbins any? We call him the foot doctor down there in Tulsa.
Yeah, I worked out with him before. That's my guy. I played on his 7-on-7 team.
Okay. So you know a lot of those guys there, man. I think that 7-on-7 is good, and a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's good for DBs, linebackers, dropping coverage and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know you can't hit nobody, but I think 7-on-7 is really big time, though. I think every young man that's in any kind of skill position should play it. You got any questions before we close this out?
No, man. I just wanna thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday evening, out of your off day, and I just want to wish you and the Union Redhawks good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, man, tell your boys down there to jump on, keep it 100, man. We give everybody love, man. We just not 405, man. I tell you, the last 4 or 5 interviews we've done has been from the 981 guys. You know, we had Mason, we had Franklin from Muskogee, we had Tyson over from Bixby. So I mean, we've showed 918 some love, you know. And like I said, I get to catch that the game with you and Mustang here in a couple weeks, man. And like I said, I'll come over the sidelines and we'll touch base and we'll do a face-to-face interview, man, and let you get to see my old self and then and get to meet each other, man. And I'll be rooting for you the rest of the season because at the end of the day, man, it's all about the young men trying to get to the next level. And I pray to God that each one of you guys get that opportunity because, like I said, the most important thing is when you leave college, you don't want to have no debt. You don't want to be paying back bills. You want to make sure all your bills is paid for.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on, man. Keeping 100 Oklahoma High School sports. Good luck this Friday night against Owasso. Go take care of business. Let's have about 13 tackles and 2 sacks and 1 pick. That's my.
I got you.
I'm putting that on you, man.
I got you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you for having me on.
No, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, folks, that's Mr. B. Ray, man. I tell you, a good spoken young man. I tell you, man. I mean, he's done a great job. Mom and Dad has done a great job, you know, getting him ready, man. Just the work ethic, as you can see with this young man, what he does on and off the field. You know, I love it when people talk about eating good.
Yeah,
they need to teach me that, because I don't eat good. I like to eat,
man. I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about. You know, they get in the weight room and then they're not getting the proper nutrition to get to pack on the good weight.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember going into my senior year, I was sitting at like 150, 155. I'm trying to get to 170. I'm in the weight room 2 to 3 times a day, 5 days a week, and I'm having a meal between each meal. You know, I'm having protein-packed meals, protein shakes, peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and then a big old glass of chocolate milk. You know, it kind of sounds unhealthy, but packed full of protein.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
you know, that's what's going to help you put on that weight. But, I never got to 170. I think the closest I got was like 165. I was going back and looking through it, some of the pictures that I had of myself in the weight room, and I was like, man, I look good. And I haven't touched weights ever since I graduated high school. But
that's all right. You look good though. You look good. You look good.
I need to get back to it. But
well, we'll finish up these recaps and and talk about some of the games in 6A. 6A1. Enid gets improve their record to 2-1. You know, Mr. Woods is doing a great job. Our man Cedric over Edmond North takes another loss, man. I mean, they lose to Enid 34-17. Like I said, he balled out. So as long as he keep doing this thing, that's the most important thing. UConn, gets in the winning books, knocking off Norman North 28-23. Norman North lost their starting running back, one of their starting running backs the first play of the game. He breaks his arm, man. You can see it all cracks all the way back. But one of my good friends got his son in, Mike Rogers. Used to be the Dell City quarterback back in the young days. His son got his first high school touchdown, just a sophomore. So good things to come to that young man. This is a prizing one right here, man. Everybody talks about Stillwater winning the 6A small, but hey, I know they went up and played in the big 6A, but they got beat by I'm sorry, they
It
won.
was a close game.
They won the game against
Yeah.
Norman, and Norman's 0-3, and so I don't know if Stillwater has some guys out or what, but 33-36, woo! That just kind of tells you right there. And Ed Memorial got one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Oklahoma himself, and they go take care of business over at Sophomore.
Yep.
You know, they improved their record to 2-2, trying to find a way because, like I said, the top 6 teams get in this year, folks. So there's going to be some people that's going to get in that you know, they might go out the first round because they're going to play a top-notch, contender in the first round. But hey, as long as you can say, hey, I made it to the playoffs my senior year, that's pretty good to say, you know. And like I said, Memorial knocks off Sophomore 35-12, and then we already kind of talked about that Mustang game, man. You know, Mustang is going, you know, you'll find out how good they are here in a couple of weeks when Union comes to town. It's still kind of weird, Union Red Hawks. Remember, we said a baseball team called the Red Hawks, and so
I remember that. I
maybe
remember
that's
that.
where they got that name from.
Yeah.
But that takes care of 6A. 6A
6A
big. You want to do 6A small?
Yeah, 6A small. You see Sand Springs, they get a win over Ponca City 48-25. Sand Springs kind of building off the last season. You know, they get beat out in the semifinal, but they get beat out in the semifinal by
Deer Creek knocked them out because they knocked off Dale City, and you know, we was waiting to have that Dale City Choctaw game, and both teams got knocked out in the first round. So trying to recover themselves coming back this year, but they got a tough game. They got Sand Springs this week. They have a tough game against Muskogee. So we'll see
that'll
what
be a tough game.
Mr. QB1 of Muskogee's all about.
Yeah, and then another team in 6A too. Got to give it up to the Midwest City Bombers.
Yes,
getting their
sir.
first
Where they at? I should put
they're
you
up
down.
here.
My fault, baby.
Right.
Bombers got their first win, big time over PC North. PC North is horrible. That's why it was homecoming.
Yeah.
Great job, y'all over there picking that for your homecoming. But I think the Bombers will get on the roll though. The next few games, the Althas and some of those teams, man, they'll knock off. They have a chance to win district.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know they lost some games at the beginning of the year, but you know, it's good to lose those games in non-conference than to lose them in district. So I think Coach Hall, congratulations to Irvin. Committed to
Air Force.
Air Force, baby, they got you a good one, man. Looking for a few good men. I think is that the one? Is that Army?
What was that?
Looking for a few good men. Which one? Whose sling is that? It says I'm looking for a few good men.
I don't know.
Might be Army, but Air Force though, got a good guy, man. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna play quarterback, slot receiver, or play even baseball. But congratulations, Irvin. I shouted out to him the other day on Twitter, and he gave me some love back. Appreciate that, young man. But good luck to you the rest of the season. Go take care of business, boy. Hey, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another game I'd like to highlight is Lawton versus Lawton Ike. You know, Lawton Eisenhower, 5A school. That's right. They're 5A now, right? They went back to Eisenhower. Ike.
Yeah, Ike is 5A. 5A.
Okay, so you know, Lawton from 6A2 beating on the crosstown rival over there. Lawton Eisenhower getting the win 30-16. So
I'm really shocked because Lawton kind of started off. They got beat. No, they're undefeated. And man, I tell you, man. I mean, I think Choctaw. I think they might be in Choctaw's district.
I think they are. Here, I got it pulled up right here. So yeah, you got. Yep, they're in there. So you got.
I mean, that's a team that you. Hey, they're beating some guys. So hey, kudos. But like I said, that's the Air Force base. You never know who moves in. So congratulations, those Lawton being 4-0, man. Ike is 1-3. I thought they was gonna be a contender in the 5A, but right now, man, they got to find themselves out of the hole and get back going again.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to 5A, you got. Let's see, Guthrie versus Tuttle. I mean, I think this was one of the better games in the state this past week.
It's a good game. Tuttle had the lead the whole game.
Yeah, Tuttle had the lead, and then Guthrie comes back and beats him 24-20. You know, I got a guy that I talked to on the side. I'm not going to name my sources or who I'd be talking to outside of here, but he's not very high on Guthrie, and I'm like, hey man, you better watch out for Guthrie. You know, they got a bunch of returning guys,
man,
and he's
I tell you, you know, I know Carl Albert's planning on having Reed back by that game, and I don't know how much he's going to do on both sides of the ball, but I tell you, you know, he's the one that took them to the victory last year. You know, beating them last year. The last minute he went on a drive and drove him right down the field. You know, people were talking about he couldn't throw the ball, and the kid threw the ball over. I think he ended up throwing for like 200-something yards, and he kind of showed people that he can throw the ball. So I think it's going to be another. You know, it's going to come down. You know, those three. You know, Carl Albert, Deer Creek. I'm not sorry. Carl Albert, Guthrie, and Bishop McGinnis is going to win a district because you're trying to stay away. But folks, I'm going to say something because we're on 5A right now, and then I've been getting some word that Grove. I've not found his name. I will find his name. Believe me, I'll have it by next week. But Grove has a running back that's outstanding, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna find out a little bit more about this guy, and I'm gonna hype, not get this guy no hype because he don't need no hype, but they knocked off number 4 Wagner. Grove comes in number 4, and I mean I'm saying Wagner comes in number 4, Grove comes in at number 10, and Grove knocks him off. So, but I'm hearing they got an outstanding running back. Somebody says from Nigeria. I don't know how true that is, but I will find out. But it just tells you right now, man, 5A, everybody's talking about Del City. Everybody's talking about, McAllister. Everybody's talking about Coweta. Everybody's talking about, Carl Albert, Bishop McGinnis, and Guthrie. Hey, don't not sleep on Grove. Don't sleep on Grove. I mean, because if you can offer off the number 4 team, like I said, it just tells you what they got, though. So I know a lot of these are. I don't think Wagner is 5A, but just to see. A good powerhouse like Wagner and Grove can knock them off. So that just tells you right there, where they're at. Like I said, you kind of talked about that PC North and Midwest City, 38-6, man. I mean, PC North comes in town to Choctaw. Man, if I was PC North, man, I would try to find a way to cancel that game because if Midwest City put 30 on you still, and the boys are probably going to put 85, 88. Michael Irvin's own number on you, though. So any other games stand out to you in 5A?
In 5A.
What about Coweta, though?
Coweta.
Lose their starting quarterback. I think they moved an athlete to the quarterback position, and they put up 50 points against Pryor, man. And Mason Ford is just showing out. He had an outstanding, amazing catch. So it just kind of tells you what Coweta ain't fell off. So, people thought that, hey, they lost their starting quarterback to a broken collarbone. He might be back by the end of the season because, you see the crazies coming back. And now with the technology of what they can do to people and get them fixed and ready to go, it's amazing. 10 years, 15 years ago, broken collarbone, he probably been out for the rest of the season, but it shows you what these doctors can do and what they can put in you and make you go like a bionic man. So, hopefully that Coweta quarterback can come back strong. I know he moved there from PC North and took his journey over to Coweta to try to help them win a 5A state championship. But hope the season's not too short. He can come back and take care of business. But congratulations to Mason Ford and the Coweta Tigers for getting another one, 50-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to 4A, a team that I was high on the past couple weeks after going out and watching them play live. McLeod, they fall to Tecumseh 40-14. So
Tecumseh must be real, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have. I had McLeod.
They still look good. They're still a good looking team, but maybe just a little hiccup there.
Man, that's a big time loss, man. 40, man, that's not like it's a long travel. It's right down the road. So, but Tecumseh, they come in. They come in at 2-1. They both are 2-1 right now. But it just tells you got to go play the game every Friday or Thursday night, man. You got to go out and play the game. People say, man, ain't that much going on in football. But you're looking at, there's still upsets going on. There's still teams get knocked off. That's what it's called, high school football. Friday night lights, Thursday night lights. You got to go play the game. You got to go play the game. Look at Appalachian State. They're knocking off people week in and week out. Yeah. They're not a Power 5 school.
Man, did you see that Hail Mary to win the game?
They found a way to win, and that's what happens. Sometimes you get on this winning streak, and you get going, and you start believing that you can beat anybody, and that's what some of these high school teams going to be, man. It's just like high school. It's just like college. College is just like pro. Kids are moving around. I can go to this school and become what? A contender.
Yeah.
We can make a super team. And that's what people are doing. They're making super teams now because, like my man B. Ray just said, everybody, it's his last year. You don't think he wants that gold ball and that big jury on his finger?
Man.
Hell yeah, he do.
Yeah.
It's last year. There's nothing best than going out and winning the state championship.
Absolutely. Another game that I would like to highlight in 4A is Poto and Chandler. Poto wins in a close one, 30-21.
And they had Chandler down, so I don't know if they put their second team in. I kind of kept my eye on that game as I was at the Mustang game, and Poto kind of had to control the whole time. I think at the end of the game they might have put some of their backups in because the score. I know it looks closer than that, but it was never that close.
Yeah. Moving on to 3A, you had I saw a little bit of trash talk going back and forth on Twitter about this game. Anadarko and Chickasha.
Yes, sir.
Chickasha gets the win 42-20. I don't know if that's a a rivalry or not over there. But I mean,
right.
I saw a little bit of chit chat going on Twitter between those two schools. So
I don't know how they're going to be talking. They're 0-3. I mean, they're 0-3.
Yeah.
Guys, quit talking. Till you win the ball game, don't talk.
yeah,
Shh, be in timeout.
yeah. And then another great game was Verdigris and Beggs. Or on paper, it looked like it would be a good game, but Verdigris.
We got to find out what's going on with Beggs. That's 2 weeks in a row they've given up a lot of points. They gave up 70 last week, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think they gave up. Let me see. Uh-oh. Here we go. The little clickers. Let me get that clicker out. I don't know if I get to. Let me get to that real quick.
I don't know, but
Yeah, they got beat last week.
Oh,
Did they? Maybe they
I don't
did.
know. Moral of the story is, Beggs, they're kind of struggling this early on in the season, but hopefully they'll be able to turn stuff around as they go into district play. And another game.
I think
that I'd like to highlight. Oh, go ahead.
I think Cushing's a real deal, though. Man.
Yeah,
I think,
Cushion beating Berry Hill 54-3.
I think they're right there. I mean, they
Yeah.
got a top-notch QB, and they got some great players over there at Cushing. I know we played over there last year, and I coached that little Jones team. We played over a great field, nice atmosphere. So Cushing got his little small towns. Everybody shut the town down to come watch high school football. So keep your eye on Cushing because they can make some noise in the playoff and going through everything else they got.
Yeah. Now let's highlight some of these next week matchups. Starting off in 6A1. I think game of the week in 6A1 this week's got to be Westmore and Moore. I think you already said that you're going to try to make it out to that game.
I will be at that game,
Yeah.
man. I don't think I'll just tell you, man. Last year is the first time Moore's beaten Westmore in 20-something years, and I tell you, if you was a junior on that team or sophomore on that Westmore team, Westmore right now is just, I don't know if they got it going. They got one win against UConn. Like I said, the top 6 teams is going, and Zodem got a tough schedule. He still got some big dogs. He still got Bigsby on the schedule.
Yeah.
He still got Jinx, and they got some big. And this starts right here. Whoever wins this game is going to probably end up being the number 4, 5, or 6 seed in going into the playoffs. So Zoe got to get it figured out. I know they're sitting at right now with 1-2, going into more war. And Moore sitting at 3-0. Coach Bryan has got those boys. I mean, he's got them going. And everyone, anybody that knows Coach Bryan should know that. I mean, he's coached over at he coached at Southmore, then he coached at Deer Creek, and coached at Choctaw. Had them going. Now he has a head coaching job at Moore, and now he got those guys going in the right things. And you know what happens on that when you're in a town like that, and you have Southmore. And then you got Westmore, and the other 2 are not winning. Kids are going to start leaving those other 2 schools and going to Moore. So Coach Bryan's going to be able to pick the kids that he wants to come in his school, because when you're winning, people want to join that winning tradition. Nobody wants to lose and be in their senior year and not make it to the playoffs. So the more he wins, the more and more you'll start seeing kids. I mean, he already got 2 great athletes over there in the CJ young man, and then the quarterback in Denver, Wolf. Outstanding QB. I got a chance to watch Tim play a couple weeks ago, and I get a chance to see him up close this Friday night when they take on Zoe and the Westmore Jaguars. And real quick, I'm gonna have to give my little team a little shout out. We got a tough game come this Tuesday night. We take on the El Reno Indians, a team that's won it all. They got beat the other day by the Bad Boys. But I tell you though, we put a Saturday morning practice together, me and Jonah.
Okay.
They run the kind of like the wing tee. Sometimes kids don't see that because it's something they don't run every day. We got together Saturday morning and told them the assignments what they need to do. So we're looking to try to go 4-0, put our name on the marks, man. This team was kind of thrown to her, and a lot of these kids didn't play football. Once again, I'm kind of pat myself and my brothers and Deshaun and Jerry and Coach Josh on the back, because we're getting these kids lined up in the right position and start having them believe that they can win. Sitting at 3-0, got a win the other night. Game was over in the third quarter, beat them 38-0. They stopped the game. I don't like that. I think when parents pay the money, you let the clock keep running, and you let the backups play, because that's the only way they're gonna get experience. Because sometimes when you got your top dogs in and it's a tight game, they might not get that playing time. So that's the only griping I can complain on about it, but let the clock run and let the other kids play. But congratulations to Jonah and the Little Jags. They are 3-0.
There you go. Moving on to 6A2. This best matchup at 6A2 and probably one of the better matchups in the state this week. You got Muskogee at Sand Springs. You'll be able to see Jamarian Ficklin do his thing yet again, and then Sand Springs. They're coming off a pretty succcessful year last year, and they got things rolling again this year. So,
and Coach Clink's a good coach, so
yeah.
You'll have those guys coached up, ready for Franklin. And I just tell you, man. I just think Muskogee, the more and more they play and the more and more they play together, they're young. They keep growing up every day. So I can see those guys, man, going out there. They're fighting for, district championship, along with Stillwater and everybody else. And whoever they face, they're going to have a chance to win the ball game. Their offense is going to be able to score. If their defense can slow people down a little bit, he's going to be able to put points up. They got some good players, man. This young man is blown up in the last. Not saying he wasn't blown up, but I'd say he is probably the best quarterback in the state of Oklahoma right now. People might disagree with me and say you're jumping on the bandwagon, but with the things that he can do, I know he don't run as much as QB out of Choctaw, but I think he throws the ball a little bit better than him, and he can put the ball in tight windows. And so being a lefty, man, I'm not really lefty. I just think lefties throw the ball a little different, but this kid can flick the ball, so I think he can throw the ball right-handed and still be on point. So keep doing your thing, Mr. I gotta get his last
Ficklin.
name. Ficklin. I'm gonna get it right. Right. Keep doing your thing, young man.
Yeah, 5A. I think probably the game of the week this week. You got Edison Prep at Grove. I think that'll be a pretty decent matchup right there. Grove has that running back that you were talking about. I can't think of his name either, but I have seen highlights of him on Twitter and everything like that. So, but yeah, I think that'll be a pretty solid matchup. And then, you got Dell City taking on East Central to open up. Yeah, it's going to be a beatdown, but, just get things rolling.
But it gets exciting, though, because like you said, I think a good game you're going to be looking at is that Ardmore Noble game. You're fighting for district.
That'll be a good game.
That's a good game. Ardmore got one of the top QBs in the state. You got MacArthur. They take it on. Who they taking on? Duncan. Is that right?
Yeah. Lawton Mack and Duncan. Yep.
Yeah. Take it on Duncan. Who does McAllister have this week?
They might be one of those teams that are on bye.
Wasn't they on bye last week?
I don't know. They don't have a game for them right here. So,
well, hey,
sometimes Squirtle they'll show up to games later in the week. But.
I hope they don't have 2 weeks to prepare for Dell City. Cause, I tell you, you give me 2 weeks to prepare for Dell City, I might put a pretty good game plan, and that's going to be the game we'll highlight here in another couple weeks. But
man, that'll be. Is that one going to be at Dell City?
It's going to be at Dell City, folks. Come out.
Man, I'm going to have to go to that game. See Dell City and them do their thing and get to see a future Sooner out there. So
hey, that kid can go, man. I tell you, man, you can't sleep on McAllister. They made it to the championship last year, but I tell you right now, once you've been there, you've been beat. I think if there's any team Coach Don probably talking about me. Coach Jones is worried about on his schedule. It's probably McAllister and Coweta, because I think the other two teams that he can athlete most of the teams, but I think McAllister, with great coaching, was going to prepare. You saw what Coweta did to Carl Albert. Granted, I know Jones beat Carl Albert last year. Different teams, different quarterbacks, different all this. But I just think that McAllister game and Dell City game is going to be a game. Do not think that's going to be a blowout, folks. If you think that Dell City is going to just walk away with it, they might not have the same athletes as Dell City. But I'm telling you, sometimes it don't have to be about the same athlete. It's about the X's and O's. Who's going to make that chess move? They're going to get that guy in a bad position. So Jones will got to be on his toes, and McAllister's coach got to be on his toes, and find out who can take that final blow. Who's going to win that ball game.
Yeah. Moving on to 4A. I really like this matchup right here. Tuttle and Bethany. Bethany is undefeated thus far this season. Tuttle's coming off a loss last week, so they'll be coming back.
What's that game played at?
It's at Bethany. So, I think that'll be one of the best matchups in the state this week. 2 of the top teams in 4A playing in the first week of district play. So
that's a good opening matchup, man. Yep. Tuttle's coming off the state championship. Bethany's always right there with great athletes. that comes in there. So I can see Tuttle trying to get revenge and trying to get back to that gold ball standards and win another state championship. But like I said, you can't count Bethany out because they are a great team, great coaching. So that should be a knockdown, drag out. I'm going to pick my score right now. I'm going to pick Tuttle 28, Bethany 17.
All right. And then another game. You got Blanchard at Hera this upcoming week. Blanchard, not as strong as they have been in the past years. They definitely have some weaknesses in their team. They already have a couple losses this season. But, I think it could be a decent game. I think Coach Bleak could put together a pretty decent game plan against them and make it close and maybe get the win.
I just think they're too young.
Yeah, too young. I mean,
possibly been playing football 2 years, man. They're just young. If you look at their high video and their highlights after the game, man, you'd think Harrod won the ball game. They went down there and got beat by Seminole, a team that's probably not even gonna make the playoffs. So Coach Blink has to go back to the drawing board. We love you, but I just think they got a lot of work to do before they can make themselves. I think this team is gonna be outstanding next year. But you got a bunch of kids that hasn't played the game, and you're playing a varsity high school football game. You can't make the mistake. The game you went to, they had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
You're not going to win many games like that. I know I haven't caught any other games, but, man, you're getting beat by Seminole, with the big receiver, Luke. I mean, you got some players, but are they making plays, though? You can have players all day long, but are they making plays? And I think Coach Blink could get those guys there, but I tell you, it's going to take some time. I know we missed the guy. I got to give a shout-out to Todd Gooseby, the athletic director to Newcastle. I know he received the award the other day. I knew the Newcastle Racers got some big things going. I'm trying to get a helmet. Quit being stingy, Coach Goose. Give me a helmet. Give me a helmet. Be part of the team. Keep it 100. Give us one. We can put it up here. You knocked on 2 of my teams that was up here. But I tell you, his team. The Racers got it going on. I think they just beat up on. Can you go back to their 5-4? I think. I think they just beat up on Plainview last week.
Woodward.
I'm sorry. How bad they beat them?
34-12.
And then
Newcastle's they're undefeated right now.
They're undefeated, but that game was tight. That game was 6-7. And I gave him a text and he said, "Oh, Tony, we're making mistakes," and that's what it's like. And like he said, he's coached many years. He's the athletic director after now, but for many years he's coached. Man, if you make turnovers, you're gonna keep an underdog in the game. If you keep an underdog in the game, he's gonna end up biting you and winning the game. Who does Newcastle got this week? Because they're gonna have Harrod in a couple weeks, and I want to go catch that game. Who do they got?
Tecumseh.
They got Tecumseh. Woo! That should be a good one.
Yeah.
Tecumseh just knocked off. On McLeod, undefeated team, looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 1952. Yeah. I don't know if that's a real year, but
no.
It's a long time.
Moving on to 3A. You got Lincoln Christian and Berry Hill, 2 of the top 10 teams in 3A playing. That'll be squaring off this week, but I think Lincoln Christian wins that game. And then you got Kingfisher versus Perkins Tryon. I think that'll be a good game, and I think Kingfisher will come out on top in that game. Moving on to 2.
You got Heritage Hall against Long Grove. I mean, I think that'd be a good game.
It's possible.
I mean, Heritage Hall is coming off a loss to Clinton. Long Grove is undefeated, so that you can see that. That could be a really good game. Like I said, this is all district play though, so
yeah.
You got to win this game. I think Jones, are they 2A?
Yes, they're 2A. They got Star Spencer this week.
They should get their first win this season. Congratulations, new coach. You should get your first win this season. Hope so, man, because I know it's been kind of tough right now.
Yeah. Here we go. This is a good matchup right here in 2A. Washington versus Vian. You got the number 1 team in 2A going off against the number 4 team in 2A. So
are they both undefeated?
Washington's undefeated. Vian showing their records 1-2. They had a tough. I'm pretty sure they had a pretty tough non-conference schedule though. So they'll start off conference play and they'll probably be playing with a little bit of anger. Having those 2 losses, going off one of the best teams or the best team in 2A. In Washington, so that should be a pretty good game. Really, that's probably about all the games we're going to highlight this week. Well, hold on. Just saying 2 different things here. It's saying that Vian has Warner and then Washington has Vian, so I don't know which one's accurate here.
Score to get your stuff straight.
So, anyways, if if that's the actual game, Washington versus Vian, that'll be one of the better games in the state this week.
That's a tough game to start your
yeah.
district off, but hey, that's what district played on. Hey, it's all rolled out. You got to go. You got to go win each one of them.
Let me look at these districts real quick. So 2A. I got to make sure I get this right.
You know, a couple of notes. You know, I know some teams had some QBs banged up, and I think Choctaw should be getting their guys back. Still and Jax sat out last week. Great interview with Connor Stover last week, man.
Absolutely.
Great young man. Glad to get that done. And like I said, you know, we have young people hitting us up all the time to get on the show, and that's what it's all about, man. And I told somebody the other day, man, we're not no recruiting agent. We cannot get your kid a scholarship, but we can get his huddle out there. We can get him on the show and have him talk and become better talkers, better speakers, man. I mean, it's good to see these young men out here doing the things they're doing week in and week out because, like I said, it's, you know, football is, everybody knows. I mean, I don't care if your kid wrestles, your kid plays tennis, your kid plays golf. Everybody loves Friday night football. Even if you got a kid playing, man, just to sit on the sidelines and hear the pass crack and eat a hot dog and some nachos and just go to a game that you might not know body. And I tell you, it's more fun now going to games because I don't have a kid on the field and watch the game because I can watch the whole game and I'm not just trying to watch what my kid did wrong so I can go home and crucify him when he gets home from the game.
Right.
But I tell you, it's been fun just to watch some of these games, man. And, you know, like I said, our show is to keep it 100, man. You know, sometimes you're going to like what we say, sometimes you're not going to like what we say. But I'll tell you one thing, that we are doing some good things because you got everybody else trying to put a podcast show together, a YouTube channel together, and taking pictures on the sidelines and getting videos out because I know, you know, before RT started doing all those great things and us putting this show on, you didn't have some of these shows. And I tell you, folks, I go against anybody's show because my show gets hyped. It ain't like we sitting there on a Saturday morning drinking coffee. We're going to get you hyped and we're going to make it right. That's what we do over here, right, E?
Yes, sir.
So,
and then a correction to that Vian game. They are taking on Warner this week. It's Vian versus Warner, not Vian versus Washington.
Okay. So that'd be down the road, though.
Yep.
E, what else we got?
Really, that is it. You know, if we want to talk about college a little bit, OU's taking on Kansas State this upcoming weekend.
What do you think about that?
What about it?
K-State.
You know,
now, is that the quarterback that used to be at Nebraska?
Yes, Adrian Martinez.
And there you go, folks. That's why you shouldn't have picked him up because K-State's always been pretty good.
Yeah,
always been a nemesis for Oklahoma. But coming in this week, I don't think so. I think OU beat him by 30.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I don't know. I think it'll be closer than the past 3 games. That's for sure. But it'll. I think they'll still. I think it will. I think it will. They still got that Deuce Vaughn kid. They still got. I mean, Adrian Martinez is still a solid quarterback. They got some solid guys on defense. I think it'll be closer than the past 3 weeks, but I still think OU comes out with the win.
21 points.
All right. I mean that's still proving my point. That's still closer than.
When's Oklahoma State gonna play somebody? I mean when?
I don't know. I think.
But I think the Big 12, man. I mean, you saw Texas Tech get beat by North Carolina State last night. I mean, then you see Texas have a tough game against Texas State. I mean, Texas State had them down 17-0.
Yeah.
You know, did you get Texas Tech get beat? I mean, Baylor lose last week to BYU. You know, you started off kind of shaky last night. Yeah, yesterday afternoon. You know, get down to Nebraska, then they kind of turn it on and say, we are the Sooners. We are the Big Red, not you guys. The only thing that OU was doing yesterday against the Cornhuskers was corning Cobb off the cob. You know, they was taking care of business. I mean, Nebraska fans came out, thought he was going to do something. Great job, coach, but you came up short in your first loss, and I really thought he was going to get fired at halftime and being an interim coach, you know. So it just shows you right there what – Venables got those guys going, man. They look good. But you got to get up to Lincoln Riley up there at USC. He's taking care of business, too.
In a cupcake schedule, man.
Man, it's going to be so fun if those two can meet each other in a
yeah, that will be very fun.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But OSU, they're on a bye this week. They will not play again until October 1st. They'll have Baylor in Waco. So that's a pretty tough way to start off your – yeah, it'll be a tough game, you know. They'll be back for a little bit of vengeance that week as they lost to Baylor in the Big 12 championship game by inches, literally inches.
Well, I hope the quarterback don't come up short this time.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, Kansas. I think everybody's starting off 3-0.
Daniels, I mean, I think the quarterback, they got his name up there, you know, right there with the Heisman guys. You know, you got Deuce and Donnie both here from Cousins, both playing on the same team, playing up there at Kansas. Donnie's playing strong safety. Deuce is playing running back. I know they got a great running back, so they got 2 good running backs. I know Deuce had a touchdown last time I checked the stats. Doing big things. So he's coming off a leg injury from last year, coming back this year.
You talking about Deuce Vaughn?
No, Deuce Hotshire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He played
I
at
didn't.
Moore. He was Moore's quarterback when he was at Moore. So
okay.
He took them to the semifinals. They got beat by Jinx, but he's doing big things over at Kansas. And Kansas is up to 85 scholarship. I talked to Potter's dad, starting linebacker out of Broken Arrow. I talked to his dad last night. He said he still got 2 years left. He said instead of them having 56 scholarship kids, they're up to the number 83, 85, how many you can have. You can tell that they're playing good. They're playing good ball, man. And
yeah.
They'll make a run for the Big 12. They really will.
Yeah.
And,
Lance Leopold's got them going.
They're gonna make it to a bowl game this year, though.
Yeah, I think they will.
They will. I mean, they need 3 more wins. All they need, you need 6 wins to get to the bowl game. So they'll find a way to get in the bowl game.
Yeah, who are those 3 wins going to come to though? I mean, Big 12. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough this year. I think they can beat Kansas State.
They'll beat Kansas State.
I think they'll be able to beat
Oklahoma State.
You think they'll beat OSU?
Yeah.
OSU looks pretty good on defense.
I mean, I know Dominic Richards is their starting tailback, but he just don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? He don't give me that.
Yeah.
I think the other kid, Nix, is number 23. I think he's really good. I mean, I like that linebacker. Is it Cobb?
Yeah, Cobb.
I think
Mason
that
Cobb.
kid is amazing. But when Deshaun Brown get in the game and you already got Ford, and you got the Oliver kid. Man, they're loaded, and you got Foreman coming in. I mean, Oklahoma State's gonna have a good defense years to come, man. They probably got to start getting some good secondary guys, but I don't know, man. Kansas playing good ball, man. When you got a quarterback that can run and throw, it gives a lot of people fits, though. That's just how it works. But I can see Kansas going to a bowl game. Do I think, you got enough to win a Big 12 championship?
I think they do.
I do. I think the quarterback, you're going to get a little bit more out of the quarterback, but I think that's going to come, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only his 3rd game at OU, so you can't crucify the kid, but he's done some good things, though. He really is, man. I like his attitude. I like his leadership.
The one thing that he's doing the best is keeping the ball in his hands.
Yes, sir.
He's not turning the ball over. So,
what about your boy Spencer Rattler, though? Spencer Rattler.
He's having a rough
This kid was supposed to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Heisman. How you do that pose?
You got it right there, yeah.
Heisman. They took him out. Man, he got more interceptions. He got touchdown. He's thrown 6 picks.
Wow.
6 picks. And you think you should be the starting quarterback of the University of Oklahoma? Go back to Arizona.
The Arizona State just fired.
You couldn't even start at Grambling. The kid is no good. Yeah. They just got the brakes beat off of them. I mean, Georgia's good. Don't get me wrong. Georgia's good. But Spencer Rattler, you're not very good. You heard it here first on Keep It 100. Yeah. Man, people are like, oh, man, what is Spencer Rattler? Let him go. Yeah. I'm guaranteeing everybody in South Carolina is ready to shit. I guarantee he had a plane ticket in his bag. And I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. The kid's not very good. Now, Caleb Williams, he's good.
He is good.
Spencer Rattler, I know mom and daddy's buy their baby Rattler toys. Don't buy them. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got to be fired up, Biggie.
Yeah.
Fired up.
Well, I think that's going to do it.
That's going to do it. We're going to end on Spencer Rattler.
We're going to end on Spencer
He's that bad, folks.
Yeah.
He's that bad. Yeah. I feel sorry for the South Carolina picking him up.
Yeah. Well,
he stole that scholarship. Yeah. He should go to jail.
It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Worth another,
the backup
second
quarterback
opportunity.
is better than him.
Probably, but.
Well, folks, that's what we do. Sweet and short. Yeah. But we'll start winning the district now. We'll start getting some big top. Not saying the guy that we didn't have on today, but we'll start getting some of these big top guys going on as they start finishing up their high school career and going off to college, folks. We got some big time matches coming here in the next few weeks. The Dell City McAllister game. You have the Deer Creek Choctaw game coming up. You got some big time. You have that Bishop Carl Albert coming up. I mean, I'm telling you, it's starting to get hot. The kitchen is starting to get hot. You better go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get your fire extinguisher before it gets too hot. And that's keeping it what?
100.
Oklahoma.
Oh, high school sports.
He messed it up.
I messed it up.
Okay. Try it one more time.
All right.
Keeping it what?
100 Oklahoma high school sports.
We'll
see you next week.
See ya.
I gotta keep it